Welcome back to Our Canada, Our Future. We're talking housing prices in Canada with Stephen Moranis, former president of the Toronto Real Estate Board. Stephen, right before the break, we were talking about the process of buying a house and how that's, in your view, really inflating some of the prices. So if blind bidding is a big problem, in your view, is it a simple matter of banning blind bidding? Banning blind bidding, will that improve or at least ensure that some people are not paying far more than they need to buy a house?
A good question, Aaron. And I think there was definitely some thoughtful leadership from Prime Minister Trudeau in the last election when he came out bluntly and said, I'm going to criminalize blind bidding. He was right on topic, but from a practical point of view, real estate trading is the purvey of the provincial government. So the provincial governments are the regulators who basically oversee consumer protection. In Ontario, it's the Real Estate Council of Ontario. It's different sort of similar councils and regulators in each province, and they basically operate under a provincial minister. In Ontario, it's government and consumer services, different ones in different provinces, and they basically are all sort of following a Real Estate and Business Brokers Act, which is being changed in Ontario to the Trust and Real Estate Services Act. So, what has come out in Ontario, let me just say this. The industry is self-interested, obviously. They want to keep the ability to give themselves the best benefit of making the most amount of money. And I think what they've come up with, which is such a convoluted proposal, and it's not going to be in effect till April 2023, is that there will be open bidding if the seller so chooses. Well, why would the seller, with the counsel of the seller's agent, want to have open bidding? You wouldn't. If you have the advantage of insider trading, there's no way you'd vote for open bidding. And why are you giving sort of an extraordinary right to a seller versus a buyer, right? Every transaction includes a seller and includes a buyer. But so to me, it should be mandatory. It should be open bidding. There's technology to do it. The industry is sort of said, well, what do you want? Everyone to show up on your lawn on a Saturday at 2:00 and it's going to be a crazy auction. It doesn't have to be done that way. There's technology now. There can be blind bidding, protecting buyers' privacy, names aren't shown. And the way it works, there's open bidding for a period of time. And maybe it's just it's a sifting process. And then the seller can decide who they want to go to contract with. Understand the seller doesn't have to accept the highest price. To just make it available only if the seller chooses is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, there are some other interesting kind of things that are coming up coast to coast to coast. Interesting. In British Columbia, if you're with ABC Realty, you can't represent the seller and the buyer. And in fact, if your colleague at ABC Realty has someone as a buyer, that's dual agency because it's under that brokerage of ABC Realty. Those two different agents who are running, independent contractor agents within ABC Realty can't basically represent the buyer and the seller in the same transaction. That's only sort of...
That's the same principle, Stephen. Sorry. That's the same principle for lawyers, right? They can't represent two clients on the opposite sides of the same issue. And so you're saying it's the same...
Absolutely. It's counterintuitive. It makes no sense. And the other thing, the industry is subject to a class action lawsuit right now, which is saying the way the industry works is the seller, you as a seller, are forced to pay the buyer's agent's commission with a whole bunch of rules. You never negotiate or meet or speak to the buyer's agent. What are they really doing for you? They're probably in a buyer's agency agreement representing the buyer as a client with a fiduciary duty, and yet you as the seller, because of the rules of multiple listing, make you to put that, you as a seller cannot put that house on MLS unless you're offering, the commission to the buyer's agent, which coincidentally is always 2.5% to 3%. So there's a whole bunch of sort of resale price maintenance within the framework of that. And the class action basically is saying to all these brokers, all the sellers that you made pay commission to buyers agents, those are the damages, right? Those are the damages. Every other jury.
I'll have to stop you there, Stephen. We got to take a quick break, but we can pick this up right after this pause.